Today on 2+U Nevada.
GoFundMe took it upon themselves to create a digital presence on behalf of these nonprofits without communicating to them in the very first place.
Some important information for any nonprofit organization in Northern Nevada. You may have been auto-enrolled into a fundraising platform and not know anything about it.
I want to start our own farm so we can kind of bring in more of those things locally.
Midtown's Homegrown Gastropub owner Spencer Shea is making some big steps to ensure what you're eating is truly farm to fork.
Simply defining mindfulness as just like living in the moment.
And why is that important?
So you don't worry so much.
Lessons we can learn from our own kids. Today, we look at mindfulness. You're watching 2+U Nevada. Thank you for joining us for this edition of 2+U Nevada. I'm Sarah Johns, your host. Hope you're coming off of a fantastic weekend. The kids and I ended up going to a couple of events you've seen promoted here on the show. First, we went to Jada Loft Boutique's Halloween candy crawl, and Monica Rios wasn't kidding. She had a half-ton garbage truck filled with candy for all the kids and Kids of the Heart. Great job, Monica. We also stopped by the School of Rock's open house and saw a kid band doing an awesome job. But yesterday, not so fun, just doing chores around the house. I swear, really, all I want is a fairy godmother to come wash and fold all the laundry every day, every weekend. You want to know who doesn't hate laundry day? One of our dogs, Hollywood, aka Holly. Every single time I take a load out of the dryer, my dog, who was just on her business outside, runs back inside and jumps onto the pile of nice, clean clothes. Nice, clean, warm clothes. Did I mention they were just clean? I'd love to see pics of your doggies doing something extra cute. Just email me your photos. Well, we've got a great show for you today. If you ever find yourself thinking you need an attorney and are intimidated about the process, we speak with Northern Nevada's original personal injury firm to walk you through the expectations you should have. Additionally, you've seen his face all over, and his twin boys are even more popular than he is. We sit down with Joel Jansen about why community is so important to him and how he and his time always find a way. We are thrilled to have you joining us today for 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I'm thrilled to have my good friend Rachel Gattuso joining us this afternoon with the Gattuso Coalition. And Rachel, actually, full disclosure, she posted something last week on social media that got my head spinning, because I believe this show is there for our community and for our community nonprofits. And this was a concerning story, Rachel, in that GoFundMe has started putting out fundraising pages for 501c3 nonprofits, and those nonprofits may not even be aware that there is a fundraising page for them out there.
That's absolutely correct. I want to give credit to the reporting team in the Bay Area from ABC7, the ABC affiliate there, because that hit my radar and it was an immediate red flag. So I do appreciate you having me on this morning. I appreciate 2+U Nevada for giving us the time to have this conversation, as you are an advocate in this community for those organizations and for the general public who is supporting these nonprofits.
And I ran a nonprofit, a 501c3, and left that to come do this show for our nonprofits in the community. And as a person who represents so many nonprofits in our community, what was it that had you going, ding, 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 this is an issue?
The big trigger for me was that GoFundMe took it upon themselves to create a digital presence on behalf of these nonprofits without communicating to them in the very first place. So for me, in our role at the Gattuso Coalition, we are working to communicate on behalf of nonprofits to different and new target publics. We're working to get them on the air, right? So that they can share their story. They can connect with other individuals who might resonate with those respective missions. But to communicate that, you have to have a very intimate knowledge of what your mission is, what you're doing, who you're serving, how you move that needle from left to right, and how your donors impact that mission. Without checking with these nonprofits first to say, hey, we'd like to do this. Is this messaging okay? Would you like to have control of said messaging? It's a very dangerous next step. Now, I don't want to implicate anyone or say that GoFundMe may not have altruistic intentions behind this act, but without communicating to the nonprofits, of which there was 1.4 million pages created, that's a big red flag for us. They don't have the ability to be informed of their digital presence. They have no real control over what messaging is going up, nor do they have control over, and this is the very, very important part, the donor stewardship process. They don't know who may be donating to them. They may not have the ability to connect with those donors to say thank you or to inform them about where those donations are going. It just creates a lot of ambiguity and confusion, and could be a very big risk for nonprofits moving forward.
And what you said, Rachel, that is so jarring is this report states GoFundMe created fundraising pages for 1.4 million nonprofits out there. And again, we don't know, there may be an altruistic, belief behind it, but even from a fiduciary or for a reporting standpoint, these nonprofits need to have information for reporting.
Absolutely. When I saw the story, my first impulse was to say, okay, wow, I need to understand, sorry, I touched the microphone. I need to understand of my clientele who may be on GoFundMe and unaware. I noticed 4 of my clients were on. One, I knew they were already on GoFundMe. They had used it in a solicitation a couple years ago, and that's great. It's built to help enable you to connect and facilitate finances, right? But 3 of them were unaware they were on this platform and have now since made the first steps to either pull the pages or correct the information or whatever that looks like for them on the back end. But there are so many nonprofits in the Reno-Sparks area, in Washoe County, even Incline, you could say. My precursory little review where I was scamming, I saw more than 750 organizations on this page. So my plea to the community is to please go to GoFundMe, sort by the donations and nonprofits category, and look for your organization to see if your organization is represented on the platform.
Yeah.
You need to understand if somebody else has put that up. There's a big risk in that GoFundMe manages all kinds of money, right? They have money to perhaps put into an SEO campaign. So if I were on here today and we were talking about, let's say one of my clients, Nevada Humane Society, right?
Right.
And we were talking about how amazing puppies are, and one of your viewers decided to go Google Nevada Humane Society. What is to keep GoFundMe from ranking first and then donating there instead of directly? Well, directly you would not incur a processing fee, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
If you're going through the GoFundMe process, number one, you have to check with your accountant. I can't confirm that that's going to be tax deductible because there's a question of where are those finances held and how does the IRS categorize that expense? So if I donate to a third party, do I get that tax deduction, or does the third party, because the money came from their account technically on the books, are they reaping that tax benefit? It's very questionable and ambiguous.
And something that we're going to have to research now for many days ahead.
Yeah, it's really weird territory. I don't claim to know all of the particulars, but I can absolutely say that somebody posed to me, well, what's to say, like, if I'm Nevada Humane Society and I don't know, I have a page up there, and somebody makes, say, like a $10,000 donation, and it sits there for 2 years, is there a policy
Is there
in
an
place?
absorption?
Right.
or
If no
what?
one
Right.
redeems that after 2 years, does that mean that GoFundMe can now keep it?
Wow.
And in the interim, is GoFundMe putting those monies into an account that's interest bearing and profiting off of this other donation instead of the actual nonprofit collecting that money in a timely manner?
Rachel Gattuso, thank you so much from the Gattuso Coalition. Some phenomenal points that you bring up this afternoon.
It's really alarming. Please go double check.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and we are back with our legal segment talking about the law and your rights. We've got Joe Bradley, partner here, and Phil Doran, associate of Bradley, Drendel, Jeanney. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We've had you on as guests for a few weeks now, so we know you're a family-run business. We know the type of cases that you've handled that have really touched our community. But for someone at home who thinks they may have a case and they're kind of intimidated about a law firm or approaching an attorney or getting legal representatives, can you talk to us about the whole process? Like, what happens when someone calls you?
Sure. Well, the first thing that they do is they'll speak to our intake specialist or receptionist who will get some basic information, and then that'll either go directly to a lawyer, or at least we'll have some basic information that we will then call them back, talk to them, get an idea if it's a case that we can advance for them. If it is, we will have them come into our office. We'll go over everything. Our law firm is community-based, and we have relationships with medical teams, renal orthopedic clinics, Spine Nevada, Sierra Neurosurgery. We can get people seen by doctors, by specialists. And so we work with these people to start to put together their life so that they can get back on their feet, get back to work, and get back going in the right direction.
And getting back on your feet, Phil, that really and truly is what this is all about, to get people to stay in their homes, not lose their home because they have a massive injury, or they may have lost their job, something like that. Can you tell us how long the average process runs from them contacting you to conclusion?
Yeah, absolutely. So in any sort of personal injury case, we work purely on contingency, meaning we only get paid if we get a recovery for the client at the end of this. But a lot of that comes down to the hundreds, if not thousands, of factors that we weigh whenever we try to decide if we're going to take a case. If we do take the case, they call in, then they come into our office where we are purely local. All of our staff are here, and this is our only office. So we get them signed up. We get them into the best possible doctors, providers, people that can help the most following an accident. Typically, if you were to talk about a car accident case, it takes anywhere between 6 and 12 months, but that varies depending on the facts. So the best thing you can do is call in to our firm, 775-335-9999. or bdjlaw.com, and we'll go from there.
And Joe, as you said, when somebody calls that number, they're immediately taken care of by someone with some sort of legal expertise.
No question about it. We're client-based, so we respond to our clients. We work with them, we talk to them, and we have resources immediately available for them so that, again, they can start to put back the pieces of their life, because we know how critically important that is to people. Because they may be, as you say, lost their job. Their home may be at risk. So we work with them to make sure that everything stays together and they're taken care of through the pendency of their case.
And have you found, because you are solely local Northern Nevada, have you found that those relationships that you just alluded to really helps you get these cases resolved faster?
It helps us get the cases resolved better. We don't speed through our cases. We take the time with our clients to make sure that they get the medical treatment that they need, that they get the recovery that they need. If we have to financially work with them to assist them through this process, we will do that. We have resources for that. So we take our time to make sure that we have a full package and we know the full extent of their losses before we undertake to resolve their claim.
And I want to say it again. This is now a 3-generation law firm. Your dad, you, now the next generation, entrenched in this community, and really a very winning law firm.
Very much so. Almost 70 years in continuous practice. We believe we're the oldest continuous personal injury firm in Nevada, and perhaps maybe even one of the oldest continuous practices in the state of Nevada. And as a result, we have relationships that go back years and years and years with financial institutions, with medical care providers. Everything that we need is at our fingertips to ensure that our clients get the best possible results. And we're here in this community. We're not going anywhere. Our clients know how to get a hold of us, and if they have questions, they call us, they come in, we work through it with them.
I love it, Joe. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you. I know you alluded to it, but Joe, how do people get a hold of you?
775-335-9999 or bdjlaw.com.
All right. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and we are obviously talking Halloween this afternoon. I'm so excited to have Ashley Morales, Education Coordinator, and Jenna Peterson, Naturalist with the Great Basin Institute. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So the Great Basin Institute, what is that?
We're a local nonprofit field studies organization, and we're focused on conservation and environmental efforts.
For kids?
Yes, well, for everybody.
Fantastic.
Yes, and we host environmental programs at Galena Creek Recreation Area.
So that's where you're housed, is at the Galena Creek Visitor Center?
Yes, correct.
Wonderful. And later this month, you guys have 2 family-friendly events. Jenna, why don't you tell me about what's coming up?
Yeah, so on October 31st, Halloween, and also Nevada Day, we're hosting our family pumpkin bash from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be lots of vendors, arts and crafts, pumpkin carving, face painting, and the opportunity to win some really cool raffle prizes. The following day is Sunsets and Spirits. That's from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's a little more nighttime activity oriented for the parents. You can still bring your kiddos, but there will be alcoholic beverages available.
Okay, and then is there an admission to get into these events?
The event is free to attend, free parking, don't have to buy anything.
Wow, you got me with that F word. That's fantastic. Free, okay. Now, the Great Basin Institute has thrown this event for what, 4 years now?
4 years, that's correct.
And turnout is just fantastic?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we welcome everyone in our community.
You know, I have to tell you, I was telling them before we sat down here, my kids and I just recently have fallen in love with Galena Creek Park. We go fishing at Maryland's Pond. Well, they throw their lures in the pond. We haven't caught anything yet. But anyway, you guys do many camps for children as well, right? Go into some of your programming.
Yeah, so we host seasonal exploration camps. We have spring, summer, and fall camp, or winter camp. And we also host field trips and community events.
And where can people sign up or learn more about these events?
You can visit us at galenacreek.org for all relevant and up-to-date information.
So what is it about these events as a naturalist, Jenna, that really speaks to the youth and gets them wanting to preserve Mother Nature?
Well, I always say that kids and sticks are tight. They love to just be outside. It's their natural environment. As soon as they're unplugged, you know, kids can do really creative and amazing things. I'm constantly learning from them as well, just by watching how they can be resilient and how they can really take in that information and hold it with them.
And what is it about Galena Creek Park and being in the forest there that is just so awe-inspiring for these kids?
I think it's the fresh air. I think it's the fresh air and knowing how old the trees are and just how big their world could be.
And you're a volunteer. This is a volunteer role.
I am a volunteer. I am a volunteer.
Why do you spend your time doing this?
I do just really like the kids. I like hanging out with them. I think it's a very uplifting and just positive environment, high energy, and just being outside is what I love to do as well.
And Ashley, you said that your programming isn't just for kids. Obviously, that's where I have focused. But you also have programming and are working to get adults more inspired about Mother Nature.
Yeah, that's correct. We have a lot of partnerships with Washoe County Parks and Recreation, as well as the Lahontan Audubon Society. And they do host a lot of adult programming in our visitor center, bird talks and things like that.
That sounds so cool. Well, thank you both for joining us this afternoon. Remind everybody, the events, there's two, the 31st and the 1st.
Halloween and the next day.
Yes.
Perfect. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and I'm so excited to have Joel Jansen here, the owner of Sierra Homebuyers. Joel, thanks for being here this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
So he may be a familiar face. I love seeing your commercials, of course, on our station, and your kids, they're so cute. And we know you buy homes, but go into Sierra Homebuyers really quick.
Yeah, we're local. We're here. We buy houses. That's kind of what everybody knows. But it's not just buying houses. It's figuring out the whole problems and being a trusted source and resource for people to come to.
Exactly. You say it's more than buying homes.
Absolutely.
When you're meeting new clients, walking into these new homes, they're going through stuff to have to sell this home. It's a lot more hand-holding and guiding, right?
Totally. Like, people think it's just numbers. That's at the end down here. We have to figure out what their goals are, timelines, pressures, financial restraints, whatever it is, work our way through just to see a whole path for them to get out. And if it makes sense to even work together or not. From there, we can really guide them and see what's the best option.
And your entire team is a local team.
Yeah, we're all here. You're going to see them at rallies, around us out at community events. We're homegrown Northern Nevada.
Homegrown Northern Nevada, and your business model is throughout Northern Nevada, not Reno specific, not Carson specific. It's all of the north, right?
Correct, like the bubble of Fernley, Silver Springs, up to Tahoe, kind of the circle area.
Okay. What drives your commitment for our community?
Northern Nevada is giving so much to us feeling like we can give back. Sure, we can buy houses, but that's not our main focus in terms of giving back to the community. So we do quarterly donations to different companies. So we do Ronald McDonald House, which helps with families in crisis with medical stuff. We do the Boys and Girls Club, which is more towards like the next generation helping out. We donate to the Eddie House, which helps homeless youth kind of find stability. And then we also do the Veterans Guest House, which is honoring people who have served. And we do that every quarter.
That's fantastic. So those are your 4 key. And so 3 are really family children based. And then 1 is veteran based. Did you pick those? Does the staff pick those?
The staff did a lot of that. But we deal with a lot of vets too. So that's kind of how that other piece came in, as we're always adapting to what we're seeing out in the area and who could use the help.
Adapting to what you're seeing out in the area, who could use the help. When you are going to these homes, what is the current market like? And what are you hearing from folks?
Well, first we hear, I'm so scared. I was embarrassed to call. I didn't want to tell everybody about my financial pressures or whatever they have going on. I've also heard, I've seen you for years and I just didn't call, and it's just getting over that first hump to reach out, basically. After that, they kind of wonder, what do we do, and what are the services? So like we, besides going out to houses, they have to kind of open up, what do we have going on here that's a little different than you listing with the normal realtor? What are the challenges? So opening up in this market and saying those kind of things. They also run into what we run into. So a lot are embarrassed to have us come out to the house because of how it looks. And I'm telling you, we've seen everything. That's the least of our concern. I don't care how you got there. I want to get you here.
And so it seems like you also have a lot of counseling when you're meeting people. You know, you have to have compassion.
I've been called a pseudo-therapist many a times.
And your team is compassionate.
Yeah, from the start, from the initial call, reaching out online, we all gravitate after the same thing because we all hang out together. We go through the goods and bads. They know what I want in terms of treating people, which all trickles down from the top. So absolutely, put my name behind all of them 100%.
And is your clientele, would it be that sandwich generation that's having to take care of parents and kids, or is it seniors? Is it people falling on hard times?
It can be a little bit of everything. It's a great question. So, like 50%, there's probably, some kind of financial up against stress, medical bills, something going on. The other half might have just inherited. They're not in the area. Mom and dad used to live here, and they just want to make it simple, or they maybe bought when the market was really low and said, hey, let's just do good enough. I don't want to deal with any of the repairs and all the nuances that go into like a traditional listing.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
How can people learn more about Sierra Homebuyers, and how can they reach out to you?
Okay, so if you want to learn more about us, I would go to sierrahomebuyers.com and fill out one of the simple forms. Our team is awesome. They will probably get back to you almost immediately if it's during business hours. You can call 455-4500 as well. It's real people that live here, and they're ready to talk and help you out and find out the best path. And honestly, don't wait too long. If you see people wait and it's really, you're backed up. It makes it harder. So we're ready and we're here when you're ready, but making the first step is the hardest thing to do. And I always give, kudos to people when they do. Just give the call. We want to help.
Joel Jansen, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You're watching 2+U Nevada. You are watching 2+U Nevada, and we are at Homegrown Gastropub with Spencer Shea. Spencer, thank you so much for having us here today. Oh my gosh, this place is absolutely gorgeous. You've been here since 2017?
Yeah, since 2017. I started out the food truck. We were at the Eddie, then we're out at Tesla. Did that for about a year, then I ran out of money, so I had to sell the food truck. And so we got into the brick and mortar in 2018, April. So I've been running full steam ever since.
And in these 7 years, this place is absolutely gorgeous. Talk to me about how you redid this location. And you even worked here when you were a kid.
Yeah, so when I was 19, it used to be soup, and I used to work here, and I was a server, serving tables. I was going to college. Thought I wanted to be a pediatrician, but it didn't work out like that. So I got into the preventative health with the food and the organic ingredients and stuff like that. And and now here we are.
Okay, so let's dive deeper, because I love that you're talking about preventative health. You really want to have this, and you really are farm to table, but you're expanding with your own farm.
Yeah, so I just got some property off Mount Rose Highway. Got 2.5 acres out there. Gonna get some chickens going with some eggs. Also do greenhouses so we can do our microgreens, tomatoes, leafy greens, and kind of see what we can bring to the table from
All right.
farm to fork.
So talking about bringing to the table, thank you guys for
beautiful.
coming here.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh, bringing us some of your key eats. What do we have?
So here we have the chicken and waffles. This is my kid's favorite. My son, every time we order food from here, he always goes with the chicken and waffles. So we have our house Belgian waffle, which we make all the batter and stuff in-house. We got our buttermilk fried chicken, boneless, skinless, all natural. So we use all natural meats, all natural dairy, and cheese and all that kind of stuff. We got our hand-cut fries, all organic, deep fried in rice bran oil.
Sorry, you put food in front of me. I'm going to eat it.
Go for it.
Got to check this out.
With fresh herbs, sea salt. Then over here, this is my go-to usually. I can do the Korean street tacos. We got a slow-cooked braised pork, all natural. With
And
the
you
ginger
make all your
scallion
sauces.
sauce. Yeah, all sauces made from scratch in-house. We got our house kimchi there too. It's made with purple cabbage, carrots, bell pepper, and it's really good. It adds a nice bite with the meat.
I'm very picky about my tacos, just
Yeah.
so you know. So good. You're going to get the real, legit response.
Here we
on
go.
this. All right, here we go.
See what we're talking about.
Oh. That's fantastic.
There we go.
Now
Yep.
you got to keep talking because my mouth's full.
Yeah, I like to do big portions, make sure that everyone's, happy and full. And when you leave here, I want you to be happy, your stomach to be happy, best ingredients we could possibly use. And
On the best ingredients, you do buy local. You source local. Tell
Yes.
me what you're using locally.
So our eggs, we use Cool Kids Ranch they're in Spanish Springs. And so it's a family farm and she has her kids out there helping her, and great thing she has going on out there. We also, we use Tahoe Creamery for our ice cream. And then also our alcohol, we got Revisions, we've got Tentor, we've got Pigeon Head. We use a lot of different local beers and liquors as well. And then also our coffee is made right up the street. We use Midnight Coffee Roasters, all local, all organic. And then also our bread from Beloved's Bread right up the street as well. So our burger buns, all our breads are all organic and local as well. And then sometimes we'll use different local farms if they have stuff in stock for like our microgreens, our different lettuces and stuff like that. And so that's why I want to start our own farm so we can kind of bring in more of those things locally that are, we can have them all the time.
And we were having a conversation about this farm. I mean, it sounds awesome. So more than 2 acres, and your entire family is going to be living on this compound. Explain. Everyone's going to have their roles?
Yeah, so I've got 3 kids myself, my lady, and also my dad and my sister Nikki and her son. So we're going to have an 8-bedroom barn dominium, and then going to do a chicken. So we'll have 100 head of chickens, so we can bring in our own eggs, and then also do a greenhouse so that we can do microgreens, lettuces, tomatoes. We're going to start with those. And then, so I want to try to do aquaponics. So use like the fish and the water goes, it's been, you clean the water, but then it goes into the plant beds and it helps feed and give nutrients to all the plants. So
This sounds so cool. So exciting to have you here. And this is your location, Homegrown Gastropub, but you're right next door. I mean, you've got a familiar last name, Shea, so it's been in the family.
So I bartended at Shea's for about 10 years, saving money up, and that's how I got into the food truck and I saw a vision and then I went with it. Like I said, I used to work here with Soup back in the day. It was very successful here, and so I wanted to put in my own kind of spin on things and add in the all organic ingredients and the preventative health. And my dad's always been big on that kind of stuff growing up too. So I wanted something that I'd feed my family, and I'm proud to serve the community.
I love it. Thank you so much for having us today. I love how you're really bringing this into the family.
Yeah.
So if folks want to come on down, tell them where to come in Midtown.
So we're in the heart of Midtown. There's a big Midtown sign across. That's the first thing I bought when I sold my food truck, actually, was the Welcome to Midtown sign on the side of the building. But yeah, we're right in the heart of Midtown at 719 South Virginia Street. We're right down the street from Soup. They just moved right up the street. There's a few other nice places here as well. So come on down to Midtown and have a good time.
Spencer, you're awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
You're watching 2+U Nevada. CBS's Steve Hartman is actively producing the sweetest stories with his children called Kindness 101. The stories are built around kindness and character. And when we can fit these stories into our show, we're going to. Since this show is going to the dogs today, this story fits perfectly. Today's lesson is on mindfulness, where the story of 2 dogs in Maine who love fall for one simple reason: things fall.
Morning, this is Merrill.
And this is our lesson on mindfulness.
Emmett, care to define?
Sure. I'm simply defining mindfulness as just like living in the moment.
And why is that important?
So you don't worry so much about what might happen in the future?
Or because it helps you appreciate the little things in life.
Yes, to both of those. It's about living in the here and now instead of always worrying about what comes next. And of course, I know an expert in this field. Follow her lead this fall season, and you too will understand the joy of mindfulness. Joining us now, Jody Hartman, no relation. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's great to be back with you.
Why do you think dogs in general are so good at living in the moment?
I think they're simplistic creatures, and we're meant to be more simplistic than we are. They don't ruminate on thoughts. They don't worry. They don't have social media.
Yeah, right.
For old people like my dad who spend too much time harping on their kids, do you have any suggestions for how to make life more mindful?
Have you tried Buddhism?
Emmett's being mindful right now.
You're interrupting my zen.
Hey, take your time. I'm all about it.
How do your dogs practice mindfulness in other seasons?
They're happy with a mud puddle. They're happy with a dead tree to chew on, a tennis ball to destroy. So there's always something to keep them entertained and mindful.
There's a lot that can be learned from your dogs and from you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, guys.
You know, we all do a lot of worrying about the past and the future. But this moment, this one right here, offers us an opportunity to just be. Something to be mindful of. Until we see you next time.
And until then, stay kind.
Again, we will bring you these Kindness 101 stories in future editions of 2+U Nevada. Are you a business or nonprofit and want to be featured on 2+U Nevada? Have a Mom to Mom Monday, a Tried It Tuesday, or even a cute pic you just want to show us? The whole point of 2+U Nevada is the plus you. You can send us your content by visiting our website. Head to 2news.com and click on 2+U Nevada. Or you can email us at 2+UNevada@ktvn.com. Each day here at 2+U Nevada, we are hoping for you to participate in our show. That's the plus you part. With that, today we are continuing our Mom to Mom Mondays. And friendly reminder, we named it that because we like alliteration, but really this is for any family member needing that tidbit of advice. For example, I would love some advice coming in from folks who are grandparents as well as parents. Provide advice to the younger generations based on your wisdom. For now, we have a Mom to Mom from two moms of middle school and high school aged kids. Hear from Jessica and Morgan.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a mom of three boys, 17, 14, and 12. And my mom advice would be that there is a misconception that as your kids get older, they need you less. And having teenagers, I would say they actually need you more in those teenage years and into the young adulthood years. Hi, I'm Morgan. I have two little kids, 17 and 13, and my advice would be to, be a sounding board, be a safe space for them. They're going to want to come and talk to you about the most crazy things that might freak you out, but just take it with stride and know that they're coming to you with some issues, and just be calm and relaxed with it.
And what a fantastic note to end our broadcast on today. Thank you for inviting us into your home this afternoon. We look forward to joining you every weekday at 3 for 2+U Nevada. 2 News Nevada at 4 starts now.